What's up everybody, we're back with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of show you how the planter tank upstairs is doing and kind of let you know what's been going on over the last few months since we've had it. Before we get into today's video, please go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, ding the notification bell so you get notified every time I bring out a video, and follow me on Instagram where you can keep up to date with everything that's going on here in the fish room. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Alright, and there we are, we've got our shrimp. We got 3 red ones and 4 blue ones, and if I'm not mistaken, it's not going to be easy to show you, but I do think one of these does have eggs, so hopefully these guys will breed, and that's essentially what we wanted. So let me go ahead and drip acclimate these guys, and then we'll get into it. See you guys in a bit. Okay, so this is kind of the little system I rigged up. There's a little hose there. I've tied a knot off at the end, and it's basically just drip filtering. It's going to drip filter for about half an hour, and then it's going to go into this tank, and then we're going to kind of talk about what's changed in this tank since you've last seen it. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, and I'm putting these guys in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. There they all are. And I can confirm that one of them does have eggs. It won't be the easiest thing to see in the world because obviously they're very small. Come on, thank you. Lovely. Okay, so let's quickly talk about what's changed since you've last seen this tank. Firstly, it's probably not very clean. You're probably also noticing that there are a lot more plants in. So I think the last update I did, I added in the Monte Carlo, which is those plants there. So in the right hand corner, we've added in a lot more Vallisneria because the Vallisneria just wasn't growing very well. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it was lighting, temperature, CO2, but it wasn't growing very well. Quickly, that little blue shrimp there is the one carrying eggs. If you can see underneath, it's not very clear unfortunately. But yeah, like I was saying, so I added in some Vallisneria because the Vallisneria, which is like in the middle and at the back over there, just wasn't growing well. As you can see, there are some stems that have kind of fallen down. Don't know what that is. I have been injecting this with CO2 daily. I just don't know why. But we also added in some broadleaves plants. And these guys are doing really well, so it's doing a lot better. But like I said, you can probably see that the tank is quite dirty. There is a layer of algae growing on the front of this tank, and the reason for that is simply because this is, and I think I've said this in the last video, this is a tank that I've kind of put together to grow plants for my turtles to eat. So at the surface, we have some water lettuce, and we should also have, it's not going to be able to see very well, some of the smaller green bits there, which are pondweed. The turtles love eating this, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grow as much of it as I can so I can just take a hand scoop and then dump it in the turtle tank, and they can eat that, you know, throughout the day, throughout the week, however long it's going to take them to eat it. But the reason why the tank is so dirty is because I also have snails. That's another thing I'm going to be feeding to my turtles, is these snails. And especially for the musk turtle and the map turtle will eat snails. It's just good for them. It's how they're going to get the calcium in, and it's part of the diet in the wild. So I thought, let's grow out all of these snails, and then I can, you know, again, just take a few out every now and then, feed them to the turtles. And, you know, they're feeding off the algae, so there's a nice balance. Now, the reason why I added in shrimp, firstly, they look awesome. So I did want to see if I can get a breeding colony going. I've only ever successfully bred shrimp once, and that was one single female who laid eggs once, and that was the end of it. I never got any more shrimp. So I'm hoping this time I can get more in. I've got 16 cherry shrimp, or Neocaridina, which is the species. There are, I think, 2 black really, 5 red really, 3 cherry shrimp, and 4 blue diamonds or something, whatever they were named as. So there are quite a few in here, so my chances of breeding are high, but that's not a guarantee, so we can't really say anything for sure. But yeah, so now there's plenty of plants, so there's plenty of hiding spots for the shrimp and for the snails. There's plenty of food for them in this tank. I do feed them once a week. I feed them these shrimp pellets that kind of stick to the glass, and I don't feed them a lot. I feed them like a quarter of the tablet. It comes in like a little tablet, and I feed them a quarter of it. The reason why I wanted shrimp as opposed to fish in this tank is mainly because I didn't want anything to tear up my plants, and I wanted this to be as low maintenance as possible. All I do is inject CO2, I have my lights on, I have a thermometer, and that's it. That's all that goes on in this tank. Feeding is once a week, because most of these most of these invertebrates get their food from the algae that blooms and from the biofilm that is produced, or it kind of builds up on the plants. So they're getting all their food. That's kind of what they're doing, is they're sifting through. So if we take a look at some of these guys, we will kind of see them like kind of picking at the surfaces, and that's because they're eating the film that grows on these. But yeah, if we just take a step back, that's what the tank looks like at the moment. Got plant there, plant there. I'm trying to get this to carpet the Monte Carlo, because it'll look really nice and all the shrimp will then be on top of it, and you can see the color pop out, which would be the best. Because at the moment with the dark substrate, it's really easy to lose out on where the shrimp are. So I am trying is the key word, trying to get that to carpet, and hopefully it will. So like I said, the Val isn't doing very well. It's kind of dying, but the Anubias nana, which is this plant, is doing really well. You can see there are some new leaves, which are the lighter and green color. There is another Anubias plant at the back. I don't know how well you can see it. It's behind the broadleaf plant. That's also doing really well. These cryptocorin, which are these plants here, other than getting smushed by the filter every now and then, they're starting to do well. It's literally just the old Val that isn't doing so well. I'm hoping that within the next few months it will start to hopefully come back, but I can't really be sure about that. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that is pretty much the update on this tank. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hope you guys are keeping safe, and as always, peace out.